All right, hey everyone, CPO here, and I'm getting ready to take Overclocked in for an airbag recall. FCA has been relentless in trying to get me to take my Jeep in for the airbag recall. I know I need to get it done, but I've been putting it off primarily because I know it's not just as easy as me dropping my Jeep off. I have a roll cage with a dash bar that's gonna be a problem. I have an aftermarket stereo, which is gonna be a problem. So I'm gonna go ahead and prep the Jeep for my appointment tomorrow by getting all that stuff sort of started so that I don't have to worry about some service technician to know how to navigate my specific situation. I'm gonna make it easy on them, which should make it easy on me. Anyway, I just thought I'd bring you along for the ride as I sort of tear things apart and get ready. All right, so just taking a quick look at here at what's going on. I have this passenger side airbag that they're gonna remove this whole thing. This whole thing houses the airbag. The airbag gets replaced inside. Problem is I have this dash bar that runs across the top. And I also have this aftermarket Seicane stereo that is something they're not used to having to deal with. So normally they would pull the factory stereo unit out, which would free them to be able to remove this. So I'm going to make that easy by doing that in advance. And then I also have this stuff here, my unique microphone holder set up here. And on top of all that, I have this aftermarket glove box, this Tuffy security box. I need to get this disassembled so that we can get to the 2 bolts that hold this guy on. So yeah, lots of work for me to do here. All right. So the first thing I need to do to take this apart is there is a bolt up here at the top. There's a bolt in here underneath this guy. And then I got these 2 vents that I got to pull off, and that will allow me to remove the entire Seicane head unit out of there. All right, so let me start with these vents. I actually did a video on how to remove these. And let's see how good I am at remembering my own instructions. There we go. Perfect. 1 down. So I'll put a card up in the corner of the video so you can find that video easy. Once I have that, I can go ahead and pop this out. This is the controls for the windows. And then there's a harness in here. I'm gonna unplug. There's a red tab I'm gonna lift, and then that will allow me to squeeze and take that thing out. And there's that red tab that you have to pull. It's like a safety, so it clicks into place and then you just pull up on it, and that allows this button to be able to be pressed. So that's that. So now there's a 7mm right down there, and there's a 7mm up here holding the top panel on. So I also have my JK mount there, which you're probably used to seeing by now. Always have something going on. But the 7mm up top also holds this JK mount, so it's all sort of connected. That's this guy. Put it in a safe place, and then that'll allow my JK mount to come off. And then this top panel now can come off, which if we were just trying to access the wiring of our head unit, that's one way to do it, is to be able to get down in there, is just pull this off. Again, this is a Seicane head unit. I'll put more links to other videos, but I did a whole install series on this. Still love it, still use it. I know a lot of people ask me about that. Yeah, totally dig it. All right, so back down here, that 7mm right there. Alrighty, that in a safe place. And now that's gonna allow this entire thing to sort of free up and pull out. Now, the radio is plugged in, so what I'm gonna do is just basically unplug everything and just leave it out for tomorrow's service appointment. So this is from the factory harness, my 2 USB ports. This is, what is that? Looks like GPS right there. And then this is the antenna for the radio. And then what else do I have going on here? A couple more harnesses for inputs. So basically I just unplugged all that, removing the Seicane head unit, and I'll go stick that inside. And yeah, now the service center at the place, the dealership I'm taking my Jeep, they don't have to mess with any of this stuff. And the reason I had to do that is because this head unit overlaps this thing right here, right? So it had to be removed to be able to get this off, and this has to come off to deal with the airbag. So I'm literally just doing the pre-work on that so that somebody that doesn't know anything about this doesn't have to figure out how to do it, and I don't have to worry about them breaking it or scratching it. All right, so this guy here is obviously locked. And it comes, I can get it down and out of the way. Pull some of this stuff out of here. Okay, so that's out of the way. And the problem is there are two bolts up in here that need to come down. That also holds this bracket on. And I believe those are 10 millimeter, you know, because pretty much if it's not 7 millimeter up here, it's probably 10 millimeter. And it is again, because this is an unusual Jeep, right? It's not going to be a typical install. This is what I just pulled off, is this nut here. I'm doing all of the pre-work because I don't want to have somebody else have to figure out what needs to happen to get this thing apart. Because I already know I put it together. Okay, next I want to take this off. Really carefully. This is just pressed in. There we go. That's just a trim piece. Looks like it's bolted in, but it's not. And then deep down in there, what do I have here? Not 10. So let's try 7. Not 7. 8. Okay. 7, 8, and 10 is what I'm running into on this. All right, and that's just this guy here. Same thing right here. This side is also holding on my CV mic mount. All right, there we go. We're just going to put this down somewhere. That comes off like that. And so I don't lose these, I'm going to screw these guys back in. All right, and hopefully you can see this. This is from outside the Jeep. There's that little plug that is right back here in the middle. And this is why the bar is a problem, the crossbar, and they wanted that removed. So what I'm gonna try and do is get in there and remove that without removing this. So let me do that real quick. All right, so this top nut here, I had to get a little bit creative with some extensions and swivels to get around this dash bar, which is why, again, the dealer would recommend I just remove the dash bar, but that's kind of a pain in the butt. So I'd rather do this. So now I've got everything I need to do to free this up. The airbag is right here. Now this whole thing should be just clipped in. I'm just gonna pull on it. Yeah, just like I thought. So keeping in mind, like my Jeep still has the battery plugged in. So I don't wanna mess with unplugging airbag or anything like that. What I wanna do is get it loose so that whoever replaces it can deal with that. I'm just looking for where these clips are and unclipping. There we go. What am I? There we go. There's the whole assembly. Now, I'm not messing with this, unplugging it. I'm just gonna prop it back up in here. Airbags are something I don't really want to play around with electronically. If you know what I mean. All right, so I'm gonna leave that there for now. So hopefully you can see where I'm at. That whole airbag cover is loose. And I've got the Tuffy glove box out of the way. My Seicane stereo's out of the way. And I've unclipped everything. So the airbag recall for the dealership should be pretty simple. They should just be able to pull that out, replace the airbag, and then I can help them bolt it back in or whatever. But point being is that I actually got away without having to remove that dash bar. So that makes me happy. Anyway, guys, that's it. That's what I wanted to do. Taking the Jeep in tomorrow for that airbag recall replacement, and then FCA can stop hounding me. They are bad. They're as bad as the extended warranty people, but that's good because you really do need to do that. So if you've got a full roll cage and you want to go in, you've been afraid of going in, maybe this video will help you with a little bit of pre-work that might make life easier for both you and your dealer. So anyway, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.